When it comes to driving and overtaking and changing lanes, are you unsure about looking for gaps in your mirrors? Are you still uncertain? Do you have enough time to move across? Do you not? Well, in this video today, we're going to show you a technique that we have used as driving instructors and driving instructor trainers for the last 20 years. So whether you're going driving, whether you're on your driving test, your ADI Part 2, ADI Part 3, by getting used to using these principles in this guide for you, then you can increase your confidence in being able to judge gaps in your mirrors when you're driving. My name's Chris from Driver Training Limited. We've been driving instructors for over 20 years. We've been driving instructor training for almost 20 years. This is a guide that has helped all our pupils pass their test. Welcome to Driver Training. So welcome to the ultimate guide on judging whether it's safe or not to overtake when we're driving on a dual carriageway or a motorway. What we're going to do is look at a system that we as driving instructors have used as a guide for pupils over the last 20 years or so, and we've never had an issue with it. But the key with this is, just as we said, to use it as a guide, get used to practicing it on slower roads, get used to the view in your mirror, and then you can adapt it to suit your own driving. So the first thing to do is know how to adjust our mirror. So here on the main screen, on the left here, we've got the center mirror view of what's going on behind us. We've got our door mirror, our side mirror, and this is our view in front. Now, in this side mirror, what you need to do is adjust your mirrors correctly. So you need, for the driver's door, to have the handle in the bottom left corner of your mirror. That way, it means you can see just the edge of the side of your car and everything to the side. Because if you can't see your car, you won't really know how far the car at the side is away from you. So not only do you need to know, is there something coming up, but also how close as well. The center mirror we know is adjusted like a picture in a picture frame. Top of the window, you should see at the top of the center mirror, bottom of the window just at the bottom, and the final quarter or third of your mirror should just be the edge of your headrest behind you. Now on this view, we've got left, middle and right. So the right side of the mirrors is the ones on the driver's side of the car. So as the vehicles come up from behind, this is kind of the view when they're just to the side of your head, almost coming behind your head in the mirror. That one is when they're alongside you. So on the right side of both, if the vehicle is there, wouldn't be safe to move over or change lanes. When they're in the middle, if they're between this this line and the center, then it's normally safe to. However, when they're from the center coming towards this line, it wouldn't be safe to. So the same is true in this rear window as well. If they're at the center point coming across to the line, generally it's not safe to go. If they're on the left side in both mirrors, then we're fine. Means we can change lanes because they're still behind us or a good distance away. So what we're going to do is run the clips, and then hopefully you'll get the sense of what we mean in how to change lanes and overtake. So we're just heading out off into the road now. And the first thing we do as we come round is we're going to overtake this lorry. So there's nothing at the side of us in either mirror, so we're okay. How do we know it's safe to pull back in? Well, we want to see the lorry's headlights in the center mirror. Then we know we're far enough past it. Because remember, if you just use the passenger mirror, that mirror makes things look further away than they really are. So you want to use your center mirror as a guide. Now, at this point, we've got the car coming up. It's still quite small. So if we needed to move over at this point, it would be fine. He's coming into the center of this mirror. So we're just being cautious now. Now he's getting closer. He's going from the center point towards that line there, doing the same in this mirror. So at this point, it wouldn't really be safe to change lanes. It means the vehicle at the side is too close to us. And at this point now, we definitely wouldn't, because he's completely in the right side of that mirror. He's in the right side of that window. So it wouldn't be safe to move over. What we're going to do at the traffic lights is go left onto the motorway, and we'll see how this system works with coming down a slip road onto the motorway. So we're building up our speed now, coming down. And already we're looking in the center and the right mirror. As we look in that center mirror, can you see the car there? Now he's already in this right-hand side. You can just about see him in the right-hand side of this mirror, and he's coming into the blind spot mirror as well. So we know at this point, it wouldn't be safe to move across. So you've got him there completely in that right-hand side. You've got him in the blind spot mirror, and that's why blind spot mirrors are so important, so that you don't have to look over your shoulder at 60, 70 miles an hour. And if there's a car in front of you and he decides to stop, you're just going to smash into the back of him. So a quick sideways glance at most, but using the mirrors, we'll know whether it's safe. But if we look behind that car, there's a big old gap that we can go into. So we're going to come off the gas, let him come past us. There he goes. So now this lane is clear, which is the lane at the side of us. So if there was a car here, as long as that car's not got his left signal on, trying to move across, we're okay to go. But in this instance, we know both lanes are empty, so we can just carry on and filter in. Because remember, coming down the slip road, we have to give way. Now this car is coming up really quickly, isn't he, in the mirror. So he's now heading towards, from that center point, towards this line. He's doing the same in the mirror. So at this point, it wouldn't be safe to move lanes. The car behind as well, doing the same thing. So it wouldn't be safe to. Now, once this car goes past, if we wanted to overtake this red vehicle in front, perhaps because it was going slow, then we can see we've got a big, massive gap up this lane here. So once that car goes past us at that point, because we can see now he's in front of us moving away, if we'd already got done our mirrors, put our signal on, it would be safe to move over into that gap. However, now you can see he's crossed that center point, heading towards the line in that mirror. He's in the center, heading towards the line. It wouldn't be safe to move across. So once he's gone past, we're now looking for a gap. The vehicle, again, is far too close at this point, coming up very quickly. Wouldn't be safe to overtake. He's on or change lanes. He's in coming into the right-hand side of the door mirror. He's already in the right-hand side of the back window, the rear center mirror. So wouldn't be safe to overtake. Now, though, we can see in the center mirror, there is a big gap behind him. There is nobody following. So once this vehicle's gone past, if we wanted to overtake that red car, we're okay to go across into it. However, now look, in the center mirror, this car's coming up really close to the line. On our side mirror, he's by the center point again, going onto that right-hand lane. Now wouldn't be a good time to overtake. Now what we're going to have is a procession of cars coming up, and can you see how quickly they're moving from the center point to the right? So in all these instances, it wouldn't be safe to move across. However, now, after this vehicle, there's a massive big gap. We can see by checking in the door mirror that that gap is exactly the same. So therefore, once this car went past us, if we did want to move lanes, now would be the ideal time to do it, because we can just see from the distance those cars are away from us. So generally, can you see it's about 3 of these white lines, about that distance. As that vehicle came up to about this point, this is where we'd start having to judge. But with the distance they are at the moment, this would be fine to move over. Now that gap has got a lot smaller. So if we stop it there, it's now 2 white lines in the distance from us, kind of level with that third one. But now he's coming from this center point on our window across to the right-hand line. In our door mirror, can you see he's just on that center point now? So this is where we'd have to go, especially with how quick he's approaching. It wouldn't be safe to move lanes or try and overtake anyone. If we're prepared, now he's gone past, look, big gap in the side mirror. We would be okay now to move across into that lane. Now as we're coming down, we're checking for anything coming across, because we couldn't move over because of this car. So we would have to come off the gas, let the car get in front of us, and then carry on. Or if they're coming up the slip road really slow, hit the gas, get to the speed limit, get past them. So now we're looking at these vehicles coming up behind. Can you see how quick he's approaching? So again, it's about 3 white lines back. Now this can vary, and I mean, you might not even have white lines, but this is a good guide for you to just get used to, in the safety of, your house with a cup of coffee, and not have to worry that I'm going to smash into a car at the side of me. If we look at the side mirror, he's kind of going from the middle of that gap towards that line. So it really wouldn't be safe to overtake or to change lanes if you're coming down a slip road. Same with the car behind. He's coming up pretty quick. So it's better to just let him go, because again, look at the gap behind. So the idea is to plan ahead, look, assess, then decide what to do. So if we're looking before they get to us, we know, well, as soon as this car comes past me, I can move across in safety. Now again, with this one, at this point, look, by the line on that side. So we know it wouldn't be safe to move lanes and overtake. It's much better just to take your time, let them go past, don't need to worry. So as we said earlier, there's a slip road going off, so we're expecting a slip road coming on. So already at this point, we want to be checking the center mirror to see what's coming up from behind us, Remember checking the driver's side mirror. Is anybody already overtaking us? Are they going to overtake us? We need to know before we get to the slip road in case there's something there. So let's have a look as we come down. We can see at this point we've got the car at the side of us. Seems to be coming down at the same speed pretty much. So again, now with this vehicle in front, it's better for us to move over and just get past him by keeping up at the speed limit. We know it's safe from behind, it's safe at the side, so we already know what's happening before we get there. Now, as we said, we know when it's safe to come back in because we should see the car's headlights in the center mirror. So at this point, we could come back in, but do you notice we're catching up with the vehicle in front? So in that case, it's better to stay in this lane, stay at the speed limit and get past them all. Otherwise, what we're going to end up doing is coming back in and then either hitting the brake to slow down or having to swerve back out again. So it's just better to stay where we are. Now, as we come past this vehicle, there's a big gap between us and the car in front of him. So therefore, we know once we're past this car, we can come back into that left-hand lane. Because again, choice of two lanes, we want to be in the left one. Then anyone that wants to go quicker, like this red car, we can see here, he's coming up quickly. He's getting to the line in the center mirror. We know he's coming very quickly in this driver's mirror. So again, it wouldn't be safe to move back over or if we're on a slip road to change lanes. Now, however, we see the car behind us is in our lane. There's nothing at the side of us. So we know if there was a slower moving vehicle, it would be safe to move over. So the key is looking at the gaps. Now, while we've got the opportunity, look how far away they are. Can you see they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, perhaps 7, 8 white lines back? We can't even see them in the side mirror. So we know if we did need to move over, it's safe because this guy is in our lane. He's not at the side of us, but we can already see cars coming up. And this is the importance of checking the mirrors regularly, that you know what's going on around you before it even gets to you. So we're looking, they're kind of holding the same. Now, do you notice what that car has done? He's moved back into our lane behind us. So again, we've got to look and assess, well, if I did need to move over now, is it safe to? And the answer is yes, it would be safe to. So we're looking, the red car's coming up, but even at this point, they're 1, 2, 3, perhaps about 4 white lines. They're not going in the driver's mirror from the center to the right. Not really. They are kind of slowly going from the center to this line. But if we needed to move over now, it would be fine to. So we're just watching them come up. Now at this point, obviously he's gone from the center point towards that line. Wouldn't be safe now. He's close to that line in our side mirror. It wouldn't be safe to move over. The blue van's also coming up quickly. So we're checking that mirror. Do you notice the car behind is now starting to move over as well to overtake us? So again, if we're using the center and the side mirror as a pair, it really helps us to understand what's going on around us, how close things are, how far away things are, and we're not going to be worried. Now in the mirror, this guy is coming up pretty quick, so it wouldn't be safe to overtake. and also the white car is going with him. So it wouldn't be safe for us now to move over at this point. Both of those vehicles are really too close to be able to do that. We're keeping an eye on the slip road at the side. Is anything coming over? Because once this white car's gone past us, if we did need to move over, there's a lorry coming down there or something going slower, then there's a big gap. So we've got sort of the white line there, then 1, 2, 3, 4, perhaps 5, 6 white lines back is this car. So you can see the distance that he is from us. It would be safe to move across once this white car has gone. So if we moved across now, that would be perfectly acceptable. The vehicle at the side is getting close to us. So at this point now, look, it wouldn't be safe to move over. Can you see they're coming into the right-hand side? So we know that means not safe. Now the rest of them in the center mirror, can you see how quickly they're coming up behind? So you might think, well, I've got a gap there I can get into. However, once this car has actually gone past us, which is now look where that car is. So he's come from the center point across to that line. It wouldn't be safe to move across. So that's why we have to use these mirrors in pairs and make sure, well, where is it? Especially in this side mirror. That helps us so much to know whether it's safe to move over or not. Now we're looking, the vehicle behind, look, has got his signal on. He's going to move over as soon as this car's out of his way. So in both of these cases, we know it wouldn't be safe for us to move over. So we've just got to sit and wait. Now they've gone past. So we're looking at the next ones. Again, the van behind is moving over. This car's coming up quite quickly. So by the time this guy's gone past us, look where that car now is. And again, looking in the side mirror, can you see they're in the right-hand side? Can you see they're in the right-hand side? So it wouldn't be safe to move over. Now we've got a queue of 5 or 6 cars coming down. So would you move over after this white car perhaps? Looks to be a gap. In fact, he's holding back. Whether he thought we were going to move over, I'm not sure, but we could think, well, there's a gap now. But again, by the time that car's past us, look where this red car is. So it wouldn't be safe to move over. How about now? Would you go now? Now we've got the car, the van is moving from behind us. We've got the red car as well, all pretty close. But now we have got a caravan in front of us. So we know at some point we need to move over. So we're looking for the gaps in the center mirror to see what's coming up. Then we're going to assess it further. So we've put our signal on. The red car's coming past, but can you see this gap is now opening up? So it looks like this car is starting to back off to give us room to move over. So as the car goes past, we move across into the gap. Now we know when it's safe to come back in because we're going to see the van's headlights in the center mirror, which we can see now. Because the problem is people just use the passenger mirror to judge when it's safe to come back in. Well, remember that side mirror is convex, so it makes things look smaller and further away than they actually are. So we need to use the center and the left mirror before coming back in. And the best way is to make sure the headlights are in the center mirror. Then we know for a fact it is safe too. Now that car who gave way to us is coming past, and there's 2 or 3 more. But at this point, do you notice this car here? He's coming back into the lane behind us. So it would actually, if we needed to, be safe once this car's gone past us to move out, because you can see we've got the lay-by ahead of us. So if a lorry was pulling out, if a car was pulling out, we'd need to move across, which we could do quite safely.